So I bought the bike in January.
Yeah.
It's a Ribble, and it's just a road bike, carbon. It was a treat to myself because I'm used to riding a Boardman.
Is the Spike run that company? A bloke called Spike Run Ribble?
Oh, I don't know, because I did the online thing where you basically build your bike online. So the factory's actually at the shop is at Preston. So you either go to the shop or to have a look, or you build your bike online. So with good advice from a friend who knew all about bikes and had seen the Ribble, I was recommended it. So it was a clearance bike actually, so it was the last 46 centimetre frame, being short and stumpy. It suited me, being little.
Okay.
So it was a treat for myself because I've got a big ride coming up in August.
And so tell us about the bike first. What did you get any extra bits on it?
Yeah, so really no, it came as an Ultegra group set, which is what I wanted because I'm used to riding a 105 on the Boardman, which is very middle of the range. Sturdy enough, and it was like an entry level bike for me, but I've gone up one level to an Ultegra. So that was really what it was about. It was a carbon frame road bike with an Ultegra group set, and then I just changed the cranks on it because being short, I needed a shorter crank set on it, and that's made all the difference. I can put a lot more power through the pedals, and it fits me better. It makes it a shorter bike. So.
And how long did it take to arrive?
Oh, days.
Okay.
Hours. You know, it was within about 3 days, I think. So you place your order, they build it in the week, and then from like 2 or 3 days from saying, right, the bike is built, it's out to you, it gets delivered in a big cardboard box.
And I bet you've been looking at that kind of bike for a long time, haven't you?
I've been tempted. I've had my Boardman about 6.5 years, and it's one of those where, I could treat myself because there's so many nice bikes out there. They all look lovely when they're new, and I just couldn't justify it to myself until I entered this event in August, the Hope Route, which is a Pyrenees trip, and I thought, it's a big bike trip, and Boardman's getting old now, so I don't want anything to break on it. You don't need much excuse really, do you? You see a nice bike, and I'll have it, I'll buy it. So it was a treat to myself, really.
Fantastic. Tell us about this Hope Route, Lynne, will you? How far is it? Where is it? So
it's France, and it's just short of 900 kilometres in 7 days, and it starts in Biarritz and it finishes in Toulouse, and you stay in the ski resorts. So you ride, first day is 106 miles with 3,500 metres of climbing, 7 stages in 7 days, so the other days are approximately 80 to 90 miles each day with 3,500 metres of climbing.
Wow.
It's not a race, it's a sportive international event, so there's going to be a lot of different nationalities there, which is lovely, and really supportive. You've got full backup from Mavic with the cars and the mechanics, and there's massages at the end, and you can get a meal at the end as well, and it's just fantastic riding. It's probably the best riding that you could do through the Pyrenees.
Wow, and how many people will be doing it, Lynne?
Well, I'm not sure because it's getting bigger each year, so whether it's in the hundreds or the thousands at this stage, I don't know, to be honest.
Okay. So you've not done it before?
I've never done it, no. I think it's in its 3rd year. So you can do either Alps, Pyrenees, the Rockies, and it's just a trip for a lifetime for me. And I'm coming out of illness and injury, really, so it was my challenge to myself to get fit, because predominantly I've done triathlon training for the last 3 years, so I kind of thought I'm a positively average at all of it. Swim, bike, run, I'm alright, I do it for fun, I do it to enjoy it, but I want to get better at the bike, so I thought this year throw the gauntlet down and do a big biking event, and then it'll get me out on the bike as much as I can in this country, and it'll be probably the best trip that I'll ever do. So one-off.
Well, you're looking fitter than I've seen you for a long time, and you've never been a slouch anyway, so must be doing you some real good. Yeah,
I think I do like the variety that triathlon gives you, a swim, bike, run, because you commit to doing a little bit of each week, but I've got to say I'm enjoying riding the bike with the new Ribble, and just getting out now the good weather's here, there's nothing like getting out in the fresh air, and it's brilliant for fitness and toning up. So, yeah.
Well, we've just seen you riding around Yorkshire countryside. Loved that. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Let me take you back. When did we meet? Can't remember how we know you. We must know you from
Hardmoors.
From Hardmoors event.
Yeah. My first one was Gothland. I did the 10k just to try it. Really, I'd heard about it, but I've never been much of a runner. I've done a little bit of 5k and 10k, and I've done a couple of half marathons, but I don't enjoy road running, to be honest with you. So I wanted to get into the trail running. I was recommended by somebody who does the hard moors to just have a go. But Gothland 10k is not a 10k, is it? As you might know, it's a hard moors mile. It's actually near 8, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
And it's tough. It's tough terrain. So I think we probably met there, which will have been 3 years ago, nearly, probably. And I was still dabbling then with triathlon and sprint triathlon and half Ironman. Now I find myself wanting to get faster at half Ironman. So I love that distance, but I want to get faster, and really the only way to do it is to get quicker on the bike, because at the minute I'm spending nearly 4 hours on the bike, which is a long time.
Well, that's going to give you the engine to do it all,
exactly.
Isn't it?
It's the biggest distance. It's 56 mile. Yeah. But it needs to be quicker than 4 hours. So that's why I've committed to doing the bike this year, and then next year I'll probably come back to triathlon.
Okay.
So it's all for fun. I'm not,
So when we first met you 3 years ago, had you had any of the? Because I know you've had like a series of illnesses, if you like, or a series of setbacks and health issues.
Yeah.
Were you in the middle of it then, or was that before?
So no, that would have been before. So I've been really fit and healthy all of my life. I'm 43 now. And for 17 years, I trained in gyms and just kept really fit and was really strong, because I had to be for my job.
Right.
Because I'm in the police, and I've always done the outside jobs. I've always been out on the cars, and I've had to be physically fit and active, carrying a lot of equipment and kit bags. So I've always trained in gyms to be strong, and I just fell out with it completely after 17 years. Just completely fell out with it and went back to swimming, which was great for getting weight off and just ticking over and getting out and keeping fit. And then I've only ever been able to do breaststroke, so kind of taught myself a crawl in a fashion, but that gave me just enough confidence to then join triathlon club. Well, round about this time, just before I started to do triathlon training, I'd had a first bout of breast cancer.
Right.
Which was, I found a lump, and I was 34 at the time, and we found it early. So it was a lumpectomy, radiotherapy, and it was done. And that was 7 years clear, everything fine. We'd caught it early enough, and there was no long-term lasting effects, which was brilliant. And then I found another lump just after I'd done my first season at triathlon, so I was at the fittest that I'd ever been. In fact, it was my second season, because I'd done a year of sprint triathlon. I'd done 4 sprints in that first year, and then I did 2 half Ironmans, and a month after my second half Ironman that season was when I found the second lump. So this is 7 years on from the first one.
And you were fit, and you were training, you were putting effort into your health and all of that.
Fittest I've ever been, yeah. And I virtually had, I was not a lot of fat on me at all. So when I knew when it came to being diagnosed, and all the team that had treated me the first time just picked me up again. 7 years later, they all remembered me, and they all just looked after me again. And we knew that it was going to be a mastectomy. It had to be. It was the same breast, it was another lump. And they said that we're just going to hit it with everything that we can, really. But there was something not right, because it turns out it's not a reoccurrence, it's a completely different cancer. So they put me in for a genetics test, and I've got the faulty gene. If I say the Angelina Jolie gene, it's the faulty gene that predisposes a woman to increased chance of breast cancer and ovarian cancer. So I've got a completely fresh second breast cancer. The breast is coming off, and we're talking about reconstruction and come try and put back what we're taking off, which in reality, Tim, it doesn't happen. They can't possibly put back what they take.
Yeah.
So for me it was going to be a bit of an implant and a bit of liposuction to plump the new breast up.
Yeah.
And on the back of my second half Ironman that season, we haven't got enough fat to get out of you to make a new breast. So I said, don't bother. Just, I don't want all the pain and the agony of the reconstruction, because it's fantastic what science can do. When they talk you through how they actually operate on you, in terms of taking the latissimus dorsi muscle, cut it out, pull it through the ribs, and do what they do at the front, and they make a new breast for you. Yeah, that all sounds amazing, but it's a lot of surgery.
Yeah.
I'd lose the back muscle, which means my swimming would be affected. I'd have whatever is going on the front with the scar tissue and trying to run and bike and all the sport that I do.
Adapting to all of that.
And it's, you know, a lot of agony.
Fair play to you.
A lot of treatment over it. You know, you're not just talking about the cancer treatment in terms of cutting out the tumour, having the chemotherapy. Thankfully I didn't need radiotherapy a second time, but you've got all that recovery to go through, and then you're going to start again and rebuild what you think is going to be a new breast, which it's never going to replace what they're taking off. And I just thought, I can't face that, so leave me alone. So I've just gone completely, you know, go flat, as they say.
But you've done it in a real positive way. You've just kind of like, in a real phlegmatic, matter of fact, this is what I'm doing, not shouting about it.
Yeah.
Just, I'm going to crack on and do this.
Yeah, because it's about extending your life, you know, because without being melodramatic, you do get to a point where there's always a choice to make, and the treatment is never, anybody who's gone through cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment, it's never easy because it hurts. It's not necessarily the cancer that hurts you. Mine didn't. I was as fit as a lock when I found mine. But it's the treatment that hurts you. So to then say, you know, I want to get back to fitness and full health as soon as I possibly can, the only way you can do that is to minimise the treatment that you have to have. Well, I don't need a false breast, so therefore just leave me as I am, and I'll just, you know, I'll get back to full health as soon as I can, which is that's what suits me, and,
well done, you.
And it is a very personal thing, but it's about living and being pain-free, you know, not having medication if you can help it, looking after yourself the best that you can. So it's about your food, it's about the sleep that you get, and yeah, be as fit as you can, be the best that you can be, and then you'll bounce back. So I bounced into the treatment really fit. So yeah, the treatment hit me hard and it hurt me, but I'm also recovering from it pretty quick because I'm about 18 months on from the diagnosis, or certainly 18 months from the start of the treatment.
Yeah.
And I'm virtually back to full health.
Fantastic.
The chemotherapy effects are leaving me, and I'm getting back to decent fitness now.
Yeah, and there's a good length of treatment. It's not like you know, you're not.
No.
You were going for months and months and months, weren't you?
Yeah. So my mastectomy was found the lump in the August 2015. September I had the initial operation to have my lymph nodes checked, which were clear, thankfully. October 2015 was my double mastectomy, everything off. Just take it all, was what I said. And then November 2015, a month's recovery from my op. We then started chemotherapy, 5 months of chemotherapy. So I finished in March 2016, and I've just been recovering since then, really. So I'm 13 months on from the end of my chemotherapy.
But the chemo laid you low, didn't it? I mean, it was a tough.
Yeah.
Tough treatment.
It's accumulative. So I was able to. You will remember me. I'd had me 3 blasts because it's six treatments of chemotherapy. So I'd had 2 blasts of chemotherapy when I tried to do the Hardmost 15 on New Year's Day, and I finally got there, and I had to admit to myself and John and yourself, I can't do the full 15, I'll just do half of it.
Yeah. And
I managed to do 8 miles of the Hardmost 15 on New Year's Day.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
But then the drugs on the chemo change, because that's what it is. It's 4 drugs, 2 sets over the first 3 sessions and another 2 sets over the last 3 sessions. And then the fatigue hit, so it's an accumulative effect where each blast of chemo that they give you, you just get more tired, or you know, it gets tougher to just function everyday life, and I just had to lie low for the second half of my treatment because it does what it's meant to do. It's meant to hit you hard to reboot your system, and the only way you can reboot your system is to just, you know, kill everything off basically, just enough so that you're clear.
Yeah.
And it's done its trick. Got to end the treatment, and I'd say within maybe, it's taken a good 6 months to pull it round since the end of treatment, to try and get back to work and not be, you have to manage your energy levels just enough, keep going just enough, not do too much so that it floors you, so the fatigue doesn't hit you, but it's trial and error, and everybody's different. Because then of course having the BRCA2 gene meant in November last year I had to have another operation, which was to remove my ovaries. So I've had to recover from that as well. So I've recovered sufficiently from the chemo from the end of last March to then go into another operation to remove my ovaries, which has then sent all my hormones into disarray. So I'm now in surgical menopause. It's great. And from that now, probably New Year, I've started to cycle again, do a little bit of running, a little bit of swimming. But that's when, back in January, I'd bought the bike and I'd committed to the haute route, and I said, right, I'm going to nail cycling and
That's
just
your
focus on
thing
that.
this year.
And simplify it.
Yeah.
You know, after everything I've been through, you know, with all the cancer treatment, I don't want to be rushing about and feeling under pressure to work full time in the job and come home and try and get a swim, a bike or a running. Actually, I'll just focus on cycling this year.
Yeah.
Let's simplify it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying life again.
Oh, so you've picked a real simple 7-day route
Yeah.
as the thing that you target for
Yeah.
the year. That's
It's only
your
cycling.
A race, if
Yeah.
you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're going to do 900 kilometres and probably 20,000 metres of ascent and descent, I think.
Yeah.
Probably 20,000 metres plus. In September, you're doing this 900 kilometres, 20,000 metres of ascent.
Yeah.
August, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
So how do you, what does your training plan look like? You have a structured training plan, or what does that look like?
To be fair, because again I'm on the back of recovering from the cancer treatment, I am well, but I'm still having to manage your levels. So so far it's been a slow burn. January to April was really steady, just getting out and just increasing, making sure that I'm not flawed. You know, I can function everyday life. I can go to work. I can do my chores, do whatever. So in fairness to him, I haven't got a training plan for it, other than I just get out on the bike as often as I can. So now I'm building up. Now I'm into May, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I've just done Étape de Dales, which simulated day one.
Okay.
That was on May the 14th, last weekend. So that was 106 miles with 3,500 metres of climbing in the Dales. But the hills are different. They're shorter, sharper,
Right.
but they're not as sustained. But that was always a good marker for me,
Yeah.
because the distance is right and the height climb is right in one day. So really I've been kind of just getting out as often as I can, not flooring it, not killing myself, but just hoping that I can do Étape de Dales and get around it and feel strong, and I did. So now that I've reached that milestone, now I'm trying to do back-to-back days, because that's what I've got to do.
Yeah.
You know, the focus is not only the long mileage of 70-80 miles consistently, but I need to be able to ride back to back to back. So I've done a couple of 2 days back to back, 50-60 miles, but I'm generally going out and doing maybe 1,500, 2,000 metres on a ride, and between 50 and 70 mile in the Dales mainly.
And you're doing that like on a 2-day, you know, so like
On my days off.
Yeah, I was going to say weekends, but you're not necessarily off at weekends.
Yeah, shift worker. So yeah, just get out if I'm on a day off or I've got a morning off, then I'll just get out and I'll do 2 or 3 hours on the bike.
Okay.
So yeah, so far I've managed 2 to 3 bike rides a day, but I'm still wanting to tick over on a swim and a run, and the running does help you cycling. So
Right.
each week I'll go to Yearsley Pool, and that's a lovely 50-yard pool, so I'll swim a mile in the pool. That's on one day, and then I'll do a run, which will either be a 10k or between a 10k and an 8 miler normally.
Okay.
Although I did do 10 mile on Saturday,
Well done.
because I did 3 mile to park run, did my fasted park run that I've done for a while, and then ran home again. So that made for a 10 miler.
Right, very good.
So with that, I'm getting a little bit of variety, a little bit of rest, because it's not good to be on the bike all the time.
Okay.
So I'm doing 1 swim, 1 run, and then maybe 2, hopefully 3 bike rides a week. So it's not so much a plan, it's just a case of ticking over and just keeping
And
things.
do you do any strength work or any kind of strength or mobility work or anything like
Well, I'm a
that?
skier, so going back to February, I did a plyometrics 6-week course, just leading up to my ski trip, and I've got to say that really helped. I don't ordinarily do strength training, but that taught me. That course alone leading up to skiing,
Yeah.
my legs were great for skiing, so it's something that I do need to work on, to be honest with you. It's something, but it's time, you know.
It's time, isn't it? Yeah, so you've got June, July, and then by the time you get to August, you're either doing it or you're not doing it, aren't you? So
yeah, exactly.
you've got
But,
the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, and I do yoga as well, which is strength training itself.
Of course.
So yeah, that's good for stretching and strength. So yeah, I do try and mix it up a fair bit, but it's time. And I am feeling strong. I'm stronger now than I think before all my treatment. So I've kind of got used to Tim for so long, for 2 years, 18 months, 2 years, trying to keep it down, you know, look after my body and just listen to when it's tired and when it needs rest and what have you. that I've almost fallen into that, and actually I can push harder now for the first time in the last maybe month or so. I can start and really push now, get my heart rate up, you know, and do longer mileage and test it just to see how far I can go, you know, because I don't think I'm suffering the effects of the chemotherapy now, so I'm in a good place to try.
You look strong and fit. We just seen you ride up and down some hills around here, and we're like going, blimey, look at her.
Yeah, this is lovely around here, and the bike's great. The bike's really light and it fits me, so everything's right, you know. A bit of investment in good food, good equipment, you know, and time out in the fresh air, and it's brilliant. It works.
So you live in like a really flat city. Everyone thinks York's going to be hilly who live down south, but everyone who lives in York knows it's flat as a pancake. It's not a hill to be seen. So how do you get the hill training in? What do you do?
Yes, I mean this is my kind of what we've done today is a little bit of my default route where I can do a nice short session that's fairly flat, but if we go over the main road over here over Highmore Road, that's towards Levening. There's some good hills around there. And the Pyrenees is a completely different terrain in that they tend to be longer sustained hills, so that it might be a 10k or an 8k hill that's not as steep as what we've got here, but just get it in a small gear and just grind it out, which actually that seems to be what I can do. I'm not particularly fast up the hills because I've yet to develop that leg strength.
Yeah.
But I think if I can, what I tend to do here is just pick a hilly route where it's undulating up and down. Castle Howard is fantastic for undulating. You know, you've not got the sustained hills, but you've got the ups and the downs, and it's sustained throughout the route, up and down. So it's kind of like a hit session on your legs, really. And it's just that repeated time out on the bike, day after day after day. If I can get 2 and 3 bike rides in a week where I'm getting the hills, then I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to build it, you know, sufficiently, build enough stamina to be able to ride day after day.
And enough leg strength to do it as well.
Yeah, and the running will help that. This is why I want to tick over on the running. So the swimming and the running helps with the core strength, and the running is going to help with the leg strength as well. And I'll just, on these routes that I do, like round here even, there's a few little pulls,
okay.
And I can repeat it. I can do loops on loops, you know, within a route that I do,
yeah.
And just get faster, push up the hills faster, push a bigger gear faster. So, but to be fair, I'm still learning.
So is that like hill rep? Like in running, they'll do hill. You know, guys will set out and they'll do hill reps. Is it a similar
Basically,
thing in cycling?
Similar thing. So I'm used to, because I'm only small and I don't have massive leg strength, I'm used to spinning a small gear, spinning my legs, having a high cadence.
Right.
And what I could really do to help me training here is just push a bigger gear.
Right,
without
okay.
hurting my knees, putting pressure through my knees, just push a bigger gear. So there's lots of little things that I can play about with to try and mix it up. But again, it's just time on the bike. Now that I'm getting good and I'm getting fitter and stronger, good with my health, then I can just get out more and just build that stamina just through time on the bike. Practice. It's like anything in life. If you practice it enough, you get to enjoy it, pick up a bug, and I've got the bug. Definitely.
And where's your head at? Do you have a thing in your head that says, on that 7th day, I visualise this?
Yeah,
have you thought about it that far ahead, or
absolutely.
in that kind of way?
Yeah. I think you've got to envisage success, you know, and stop any negative talk. So even when you're tired and you're pushing hard and, you know, it feels like you're cycling through treacle, you've got to stop that negative voice in your head and picture something good, picture success, picture getting to the top of that hill, or, you know, count the paint markings on the, you know, where you get the lines in the middle of the road, and count them, a bit like you'd count your running steps.
Yeah.
If you've got a big hill that you've got to run up, count your cadence. Do the same on the bike with the white lines. That's what I do, you know, and it just, time is still ticking, you're still pushing the pedals, and you'll get to the top without giving up.
You're still pushing forward, aren't you?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so how much does your attitude count for what you're doing? You've been through lots.
Yeah, I think it's, if you've got the mental attitude to push through, you know, and to envisage getting through the other side, whatever it is, whether it's health issues or a big climb on a bike or a run, I think you're more than halfway there, you know, more than, because we're all capable, you know, we've all got it in us. You've just got to not give up.
It's the not giving up.
Not giving up, yeah. And just stay positive. You've got to envisage something good. You know, if you've got a positive image in your head, whether it be summiting that hill or you know, passing people as you're going up, it doesn't matter what it is. you're really in competition with yourself. You know, you're pushing yourself on further. It's not about what anybody else is doing, because we're all different and we're all dealing with different things, aren't we?
Yeah.
Everybody's got something.
No one's wearing your shoes and no one's wearing mine, are they?
Exactly. So it's not about what everybody else is doing. It's you picture something in your head that you can really reach for and go for, and you'll get there. If it's like target identification. If you look at it, if you think about it, you'll reach it. So just don't give up.
Brilliant. What about? Do you have any? We all sometimes have a down day, or I can't be asked to go out for a run today, or I can't be bothered to go to the gym, or I'm not getting on the bike.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of sayings or phrases that people have said to you that are memorable? Do you kind of go, yeah, screw it, I am fed up and I didn't want to get on the bike, but I'm going to do it?
Yeah.
What goes through your head, or do you have any sayings or phrases for that kind of thing?
No, yeah, I don't really, because I am highly motivated naturally. I suppose it's just. It's still time on the bike, you know, it's time on your legs, isn't it? So even if it's really bad, horrible weather, raining, and you don't want to go out, cut the ride shorter, you know, don't make it hard. And if you'd planned to do a 3-hour ride but now it's raining or it's cold and, you know, and it's going to feel really hard, just cut it shorter and don't give yourself a hard time. I think I've learned to be kinder to myself. I've always been a person who's put a lot of pressure on myself. You know, and if I say I'm going to do a certain training session and I don't manage to do it either because of time or because I wasn't as fast as I wanted to be or whatever, I'd beat myself up over it. I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, and I should have done more. I've learned through all my treatment, really, you know, my cancer treatment, that, you know what's it all for? It doesn't matter. As long as you get out and you do it, then it's still time on the bike, isn't it? It's still out there. And if I don't get to do it, do you know what? I work hard and I do a lot. So the occasional time when it doesn't happen, just don't give yourself such a hard time.
You can miss a session, can't you?
Have a rest day.
Yeah.
And listen to your body. Learn to listen to your body, because your body will tell you. And if you get out and you really are struggling and it's really hard work, don't push it, because your body's telling you it's tired. So cut it short. You might have had half an hour out on bike or on a run. Come back in.
Yeah.
Cut it short.
That's more than the people who are sat on the sofa, isn't it? So a short run, a short cycle is better than nothing.
Yeah. Have a rest day today. Come back stronger tomorrow. There's always tomorrow.
Lynne, what about this Hope route? What was it about the Hope route caught your imagination and made you think it was the thing for you?
So to be honest, I saw the advert on Facebook first and thought, wow, you know, that's amazing, because it's known as the Amateurs Tour de France. And then a friend of mine is actually doing it, and initially I was going to do a relay for a full Ironman event, and I was going to do the bike, because again I'd committed to wanting to do cycling. And then we found out that we couldn't do a relay. There just isn't a relay facility where one person will do the swim, one do the bike and one do the run. So I lost my goal. You know, here's me coming back from cancer treatment, and I went, I've no goal now, I don't know what to do. And this friend said, I'm doing a whole route, why don't you come and do it? Just do it, just enter it. And I went, are you having a laugh? That's massive. Because at the end of the day, it's probably one of the biggest cycle rides you can ever do. You know, Tour de France, you picture, who does a Tour de France? There's only the professionals does a Tour de France, and I'm doing the Amateurs Tour de France. It's the biggest, probably one of the best sportives you can ever do. So, biggest challenge, and I'm all out for giving myself a big challenge to step up to the plate, if you like. Step up and overcome whatever battles, health-wise and fitness-wise, that I need to overcome. Yeah, I don't like making it easy for myself.
That's fantastic.
And yeah, it's, when else are you going to do it? You know, I mean, logistically, I wouldn't plan that. I wouldn't know where to start with that, because I'm not a big cyclist per se. You know, I'm positively average at all of them: swim, bike, run. I just get out on my bike and I do a bit. I go into the pool and I do a bit. I wouldn't know where to start to plan something like the Haute route. You know, that mileage and that hotels, you know, the routes, the planning, the food, I wouldn't know where to start. So actually, to go to a company that's all set up to do it and the logistics are there, it's what, trip of a lifetime. You know, I'm never going to do that myself on my own. And to say that I've done the Amateurs Tour de France, that mileage, that height climb, it's phenomenal. I've never done anything as big as that in my life. I've no idea if I can do it, to be honest.
It's your biggest challenge? You've never done anything like this before?
Biggest challenge? Never, no. I never thought I'd do triathlon, and then I did a half Ironman and went, oh, that's quite achievable. But that's a day out.
Yeah.
You know, that's several hours in a day.
Yeah.
What I'm doing in August is day after day for 7 days, and I'm going to be in the saddle for what could be up to 10 hours. You know, like on that first day, 106 miles, I could be potentially, depending on what the terrain is like. I've never done anything as big as that. So, my goal is to stay ahead of what's called the broom wagon. You know, the last vehicle that sweeps everybody up and just makes sure that you all finish. And I laugh about it. I say, if the broom wagon catches me and the people in the vehicle say, right, are you getting in or are you on your own? Because once you drop behind the broom wagon, you're on your own, the support has gone. I'll be chucking my bike at him and I'll be demanding which seat you want me to sit in, because I won't be dropping behind it. I just want to stay ahead of the broom wagon. I just want to get out there and ride my bike. So I've no idea at this stage, Tim, if I can do it. It's not about that. You know, I'll get there and I'll just take it a step at a time.
Yeah, I know you can. I know you will do it, so...
Well, I approached me half Ironman last year, so on the back of all my treatment, finished my chemotherapy in the March, I'd already entered Austria half Ironman. So I did that at the beginning of my chemotherapy treatment as another goal. Right, I'll throw the gauntlet, that's what I'm going to do to try and get that to finish. So I finished my chemotherapy in the March, and I knew that August again was looming, and I was doing a half Ironman, and I said the same. The analogy was applied just the same for that. Right, if I can get on the plane and I feel well enough to get to the start of the half Ironman, that'll be great. And then as I got on the plane, got nearer, you know, right, if I can get my feet in the lake with my wetsuit on and I can hear the gun go off, I'll be happy. And I get to the edge of the lake with my feet in the water with my wetsuit on, and I'm swimming and I'm thinking, this is great. If I can get on my bike, that'll be great. I find myself on the bike. Right, I'll finish the bike ride, I'm sure I will. If I can get running, that would be fantastic. And I ended up running over the finish line.
Brilliant.
And it was achieved, it was done, and all I did was just picture the end of that section, you know, just bite size at a time. Rather than thinking about the whole event and crossing the line at the end, you know, just take it in bite-sized chunks. And that's how I'm going to approach France in August, because at this stage today I've no idea if I'm going to finish it. I don't know if I'm going to get swept up by that broom wagon, but I don't mind at this stage. All I want to do is put myself out there, you know, throw your hat in the ring and have a go and see what happens. And I'll still have a fantastic experience. If I end up getting picked up by a broom wagon, I'm still going to be out there and the next day I'll get out on my bike again and I'll do as much as I can again. And hopefully the analogy will work again and I'll reach the end, day 7, and I'll cross that line and I'll be the happiest person in the world.
Fantastic. I know you will.
Yeah.
I know you will.